Hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Oluwatosin, and in this video I'll be sharing with you how to create a portfolio website for your tech niche. Any tech niche you're in, you're going to be having your project on a website that you can add to your resume, and with just one click your recruiter can see everything you've done, and that makes a lot of sense and saves the recruiter a lot of stress. So people with portfolio websites are getting the job, and I hope you stick to the end of this video and create your portfolio website as well, so as to stand out among other candidates. At the end of the video, if you enjoyed watching it, make sure you like, subscribe, and drop a comment on the next tutorial I should make on this and post on this channel. All right, let's get straight into the tutorial.
Okay, so to create our portfolio website, we are just going to make use of a template. I know you are not a developer, you don't know HTML, CSS. I'm not a front-end developer too, but we can still create this portfolio website ourselves, making use of templates. So it's this template we are just going to edit to our preference, and then it will be a website we are going to host, right? And then it will go live. Okay, so this is the site where I'm going to get the template from that we are using in this video. So if you just type html5.up in your browser, you don't have to add this .net, just html5 up. That's all. It's going to bring you to this tab, and you can copy it this way and also type it in your browser. Okay, so let's scroll down. So on this website, you would be able to find, okay, I think it didn't load everything, so let me reload. So on this website, you'll be able to find different templates of websites, so you'll be the one to pick which one you like and which one you want to go for, basically. Okay, so we can see this paradigm shift, so you can click on the demo to see what it looks like. And if you're okay with the way it looks after clicking on the demo, then you can click on download to download it, and then I'll show you after downloading it how we can make use of it, how we can edit and do a lot of stuff in it. Okay, so I think my network is slow. Let me try to fix that. All right, so the whole page has loaded. Oh my god, not everything loaded. Okay, let's just continue. Yeah, so this is the interface for this one, and if you want to see what the website look like in details, you can click on demo, and then I don't know why the network is so slow. Maybe your name, and maybe you can write about yourself, maybe a detail oriented a data analyst with blah 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 blah. You can put it here. Then your image, then you can talk about maybe about section or something, then you have it here, just like you're just going to edit it to your taste, whatever you want it to look like, basically. So we are talking about portfolio websites in this case, but you can use it to create any other website too that you want. You can use the template as well, but let's just focus on the topic. So this is what this interface looks like. So if I'm not okay with this interface, I can go to another one. Let's check the demo for this one. This is what this one is called massively. So this is what it looks like. You can add your image at the background, then your name, about section, and then you can have different information that you want to have as well. So let me just try to see which one we should use for this tutorial. I think I saw one the other day I kind of liked. Solid state. Okay, let's see what eventually has for us. I kind of like anything black background. Oh, this one will not work for us because it's just like one page website. No, that's not what we need. That's too short for what we need. Okay, so let's see what this one looks like. So you can just explore. You don't have to use the same templates we use in this video, you can explore. So I'm going to show you the process on how you can edit the template, so you can just follow the process for any template that you choose for yourself. Okay, this is looking calm, right? This is looking nice. So should we go for this? I don't know what you guys think. Yeah, so we can just go for anyone that we want to. I think I'll just go for anyone. Okay, I think we can just use this solid state to test run whatever it is we're trying to do. Okay, so let's just download this solid state. You can pick any template you want whatsoever, just pick it and work with it. So I'll be working with this solid state now, and if I'm comfortable with what it looks like and how, and I like it, so I'm just going to download. Yeah, so now it is done downloading. I'm going to unzip the file. Okay, extract. Let me just extract under zoom. Where is zoom? Okay, here. Okay, so we have it here. So I'm just going to copy it and then create another folder for it. So I can just do Ctrl C to copy, and then I'll come to my documents. I'll just create a new folder. I can call it web tutorial. So I'm going to open up the folder and then paste what I copied. It's code and then make use of Python in it. So just drop it in the comments. So I'll make another video explaining that. So for this, I've opened up that folder, the folder that I just created. Yeah, so I've opened it up in VS Code, and the file we'll be working in, that will be editing and stuff, will be the index.html. The index.html is where we have the code for the landing page. Yeah, all right, so this is what the code looks like. I know it looks overwhelming, but I'll break it down so you don't really have to worry. Okay, so one thing you have to install, you come here, you see this extension, you click on it, you search live server. This is it. You click on it. When you click on that live server, you see that I've already installed it, so you make sure that you install a live server. You'll be needing it shortly. Okay, so after installing it, you can close this extension tab and go back to your Explorer. Then I'll open back index.html file. So if you can see this index.html file now, we can open it up. I can just right click here and then open with live server. If you not install that live server, you will not see this option there. And this live server will just let us see what all this code looks like on the website. That's what it will do. So if we open with live server now, it's going to open a Chrome tab or something. Can you see? It opened up the Chrome tab, showing us the templates we saw the other time, but this time around we've downloaded the template, so that's why we can see it here. So I'm going to change where we have this is solid state. I'm going to change it to my name, Babalola Oluwatosin. So let's see. So all you have to do is you have to locate where you have this is solid state. All right, so just keep scrolling. You see on this part now, you have that this is solid state. Here we have solid state, but it is not containing exactly what you're looking for. So this is where the text is. The text is like in the white color. Yeah, it might be different on your PC, I don't know, but you know the text is in between all these headers. I don't want to go too in detail into it because I'm sure most of us are not developers, so I don't want to complicate things here. So all you just have to do is trace whatever it is you're looking for. We are looking for this is solid state, and we already saw it here. So now I'm going to change it. I'm going to just highlight it, remove it, and type in Babalola Oluwatosin. All right, let me just right click and open with live server again. Can you see? Just that simple. Okay, so that's how we keep editing the entire website. We keep editing to our taste till the end of the whole thing. So now on this part, let's say I want to add a little bit detail about myself. I will just highlight this. Let me see. Okay, you can see that this HTML5 up has a link. This href, anywhere you see href in your code, know that it is like a link. It will take you to a link to somewhere. So if I want to, you see this by HTML5 up, you see that it's clickable. If I click on it now, it's taking me to their page, the page where we downloaded the templates from. That's the page they embedded there. I can change it, yeah. If I don't want it to take me to their page, I'm going to change the link here. I'm just going to change the link and put whatever link I want it to take me to. And I can change the words. Remember, the words is like the one that will be print out is like the white color, yeah. So I can change the link. I'll just remove this one and paste any link I want it to take me to. Okay, so let me just edit this one. I can just say detail oriented. This is just like a sample, so you can sit with it and try to come up with something attractive and something reasonable for yours. So I can just do detail oriented data analyst with expertise in Excel, SQL, which other tool do I know? Tableau, Power BI, Python. Let's just leave it like that, as I don't want to be dramatic. Okay, so now if we don't need a link for what I just wrote here, so I can just remove this part. I don't want to have HTML5 text here. So I'm just going to remove this less than a and where this a. So whenever you open like a stuff with this less than bracket, you always have to close it. So whenever you're removing the opened one, you have to remove the closed one too. And that's what I'm just doing. So I'll backspace. So you can see that we have this slash p. That slash means you are closing it. If you come to the beginning of this line, you see that we have the normal p. So this was where we opened it and this was where we closed it. So it's like an open and close paragraph. So that's basically, so I hope you're getting the way the thing is formatted now. So we have detail oriented blah blah blah. Let me now open with live server again. So you can see that your changes is already made. So if you want to have a lot of where you can just keep adding all of the details that you want to add there. Okay, so in this section now, I can have my first project. So let's say my first project is about what's my first project about? Let's say my first project is, so I can scroll down. Okay, so before we scroll down, you see we can change this name that is showing us up here. It's showing us solid state by HTML5 up. I can change it to maybe Babalola Oluwatosin portfolio, Oluwatosin portfolio or something. So we are going to try to locate where solid state by HTML5 up is at the beginning of our code. It's definitely going to be at the beginning. So we have solid, can you see it right here? That's the title. So we can change it to Oluwatosin portfolio. All right, so we can change it to that. And if you open with live server again, can you see now that it is now showing Oluwatosin portfolio, right? So we can remove this logo too. If you don't want it there, can remove it. And this our menu that we have here. So the way the code is arranged is the way we'll be scrolling, that the more we scroll. So all this one now is in the upper section. So this menu now, if we click on it, we have home, generic elements, login, sign up. But we don't need these two, login and sign up, because we don't want anybody to log in. It's just portfolio websites we want them to see. So I can remove this login in the menu and I can remove this sign up in the menu. So let's go back. So you can see this is the menu section here, and then this is the login and this is the sign up. So what I'll just do is I'm going to remove it. Can you see? So if we open with live server now, you can now see that we don't have login and main sign up again. So if you wanted to replace the login and sign up with something, you could have just changed the name as well too. Okay, so let's leave the menu like this, and if you want to add any other thing to it, we'll do that later. Okay, so now we've started editing our portfolio website, and let me open with live server again so we can see where we are going to pick it up from. So we can see we've edited the name, the description section, or let's say yeah, description, and we've edited the menu. We removed the login, sign up, and then we edited this Oluwatosin. We changed this to Oluwatosin portfolio. Okay, so we can add image to this background. That's one of the things we can do. And then we can start inputting the projects we have done. You can have your project headline, and then you have description for the project on this part. And in this lemon, it will take them to a page where you have a detailed write-up for your project. So mostly we host projects on GitHub, on our GitHub. So whenever you do a project, you're first going to post about the project on GitHub. After posting about the project on GitHub, then you can now put them in your portfolio website and add a link that will take them to the GitHub to check your code and everything like that. Okay, so let's see, in case you don't know what GitHub looks like, so you just have to type github.com in your browser. Then you're going to sign up. When you sign up, they are going to send you a mail for you to confirm and stuff like that. So if you're wondering how you can upload your project on GitHub, so after signing up, all you have to do in your repositories, and then you see new, so you click on new. If you click on new now, you can type your repository name here. So let's say I just worked on an e-commerce project. That means I'm typing e-commerce as the topic of my project. So that's what I'm typing in. If you want to add a description, you can, and make sure that it is always public. Then you can add a readme file. So this readme file is more like a documentation that you're going to have for the project. So you're going to explain every step that you took in the project, how you got your data set if you're a data analyst, how you started the project, like from start to finish, just an introduction. That's what you have in your readme file, your documentation. You can see this is where you can write a long description for your project exactly. So you just click on create repository. Okay, so now that I've created the repository, the my readme file is empty. You can click on this edit to edit and put in stuff in your readme file. So if I can have introduction section first, I'll have introduction, and in the introduction section I'm going to explain every detail of what the project is. I can say this project is about stuff. So you just write your, I'm going to show you a sample of my readme file so that you can see. But so when you're done editing and you've typed in all your long thing that you want to type, then you just come here up here to commit your changes, and then you click commit change. And every changes, you can see the introduction I wrote, this project, blah blah blah. So this is it showing here. If I want to go back to the folder, e-commerce folder, I'll just click on e-commerce. It takes me back to this page. So I can add files. Let's say I've worked on a project. Maybe I used SQL queries. I can upload the queries now by adding file. I can add file and upload the file for the query, right? And if it is a Python or Jupyter notebook, so you can upload that as well here. In fact, you can upload your Excel workbook here as well. So that's the beauty of it. So you just click on add file. So if the file you want to upload it from your PC, just click upload file, and then you can choose your file. So you click on choose your file. Okay, so let's just open this one. That's the Excel file that I just opened. So it's going to open up like this, and then you're going to commit changes. Okay, let me just do it. I'm going to delete the repo back. Okay, so you can now see that we have the file here. So when you have a detailed readme telling them about what to expect in the project, then they can go into this your file to check more on the project. So this file, because it's an Excel file, they have to download it. So once the recruiter clicks on this view raw, it's going to download it on their PC. Okay, so so it's opening. I thought it was going to, okay, I can still download it here anyways. Okay. Okay, so I protected this file with a password because I'm trying to protect the data anyways. So I have a video on how you can protect your Excel file with password. In case you want to know that, you can check it up on this channel. So once they click on it, you see they can access, I think it's still loading because I think I have something here. So they can access my dashboard exactly. Okay, so they can access the dashboard, and this will take them to the data tab. This, you can go to the chart, you can go to this. So I have a video on this project that helped me grow my TikTok channel as well. So if you want to know about more about it, you can check the channel for the video. Okay, so we've just uploaded an Excel workbook in our repository. So that is all you have to do. So now the link to this repository, now let's say is this e-commerce I'm starting with. Okay, so the name I gave it is not tallying with whatever I'm explaining, so it's just like an explanation for you to get it. So let's say I want to put, the first thing I want to put in this my portfolio website is telling them about the project, maybe a TikTok project that I did, right? Forget this repository name, that was a mistake because I didn't know I was going to upload this file. So I would have written my readme correctly, I would have done everything correctly. So I'll just copy the link to this page. So I'm going to add it to that learn more section. So in this in this learn more section, it's clickable, so it's the GitHub to that particular repository that I'm going to add. Okay, so let's try to edit this and see how it works. So now we are going to trace out where we have that, right? We have Magna, Aku, whatever. So this is exactly that point. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is first name it. Maybe I'm going to call it like TikTok project. Okay, so on this lorem ipsum color, that's the section where we are going to explain everything I did in the project. So I'm going to come back here and then edit it. Okay, so if you don't know what to write in your description section of your project, so you can just come to ChatGPT to tell ChatGPT that, hi, I just worked on a project using Microsoft Excel that helped me, that enables, just write it anyhow you remember, it's going to fix it, that enables TikTok growth. Give me a sentence for that enables TikTok growth. Give me a sentence for the description section for this project on my portfolio website. So you can give ChatGPT more detail on the project, right? So okay, I know people take Excel. So you can give ChatGPT more detail on the project, right? It's because we are kind of trying to save time. That's why I'm being fast. So we can just do enter, and then it's going to give us a response. So whatever it gives me, I'm just going to copy it. Okay, so developed an Excel-based analytical tool to track and enhance using data-driven insights to optimize. Very good. So I'm just going to copy it. You can modify it if you want. Okay, so I'm just going to copy that, and now I'm just going to paste it in this section. Okay, so now that I've pasted it in this section, the learn more section, I want to in this href, now I told you href is where the link is. So the link I copied from GitHub, in case you've forgotten the other time, the link to this e-commerce that I copied. Okay, so I'm just going to paste it in this href. Oh, I copied something else, I have to copy it all over again. Okay, let's just come back here and then paste. Okay, so this is the link to the page, and then if you don't want it to be learn more, if you want it to be like maybe read more or about projects, maybe I want it to be about project, I can change the text is going to display, and I'm going to just put about project. Okay, so let's open with live server again to see these changes. All right, so you can see now that we have TikTok project. You can put TikTok, you can make it more detailed, maybe social media growth, whatever. So just the write-up, and then we change it to about project. So now let's see if our link will work. Just click on this link now, the about project section. Can you see it brought us to this page? So that makes a lot of sense, because your recruiter don't even have to stress. All they need is just this one website to get to know everything about your professional space and about you. Okay, so we can add image to this section, right? So let's just look for one image online, and then we are going to put it. I'm going to show you how to add image, and then we are going to edit all of this section, like this name, email, message. You don't need your recruiter to send you a message, so we can actually remove it. We can just leave this part when we get to add our location, phone number, mail, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. So we'll just leave this one and delete this one. And also this menu, we can edit it. Instead of this generic, we can turn it to about section, where we are going to write about ourselves in detail. Okay, so now we are going to add image first. So let me just download one image. Maybe I'll just put TikTok. Let's just add TikTok logo, since I'm talking about TikTok icon or something. Okay, so you can see TikTok icon everywhere here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, which one are we downloading? I think I'll go with this one. Let me see the background. I think I'll go with this one. Okay, so let me just go with this one. I'll right click and then save image as. Okay, why is it not popping up? It is still under the same folder that you are working in. Remember that before we started this VS Code project, we created a folder that I put in all the files that is contained in the template that we downloaded. Very good. So inside this images folder is where I'm going to put the image, right? So I can just rename it. So I'll just call it TikTok and I'll save it. So now that is saved, let's go back to our VS Code. Now we want to add image to that first part. And you can see in this section, you have the image section, and they can also click the image and it will take them to a link. href means the link, right? So I can still copy this same link and then put it there in this href here. So when they click on the image as well, it will still take them to the GitHub page. Okay, so now for the images now, I don't want it to be just this one pix01 is not showing anything, it's just like blank. Yeah, so I want to add a real image, the TikTok icon we just downloaded. So if you come to this images section now, because the image I downloaded, I added it into this images section in the same folder, it's going to automatically appear here. So if you don't add it inside the same folder, you'll not be able to find it here, and there's no way you're going to add the image. So it has to be in the same folder and inside this images section so you can easily locate it. So now instead of pic01, I don't want it to be blank. I'm just going to remove this. And then I'm going to put TikTok, the name that it is here, the same cap lock, whether it's capital or small letter, is the same thing you're doing. So I'll just go to tiktok.png. All right, so let's test run that. Let's right click and open with live server. Can you see how beautiful this looks? So this is just how we keep editing. So now if I click on this image now, you remember I also added the link to the GitHub on this image, right? So it's also going to take me back here. Okay, so that's how you just keep editing and editing and editing. So your next project, this is just one of your projects that you have here. Your next project, you're going to have a description, just a brief one, and then you add a link that will take them to wherever they can read more about it. So in my portfolio website, what I did is, even in this about project section, I created an about section aside GitHub, where I explained in details what the project is about. Okay, let me show you an example of that. Okay, so this is my portfolio website. So instead of them clicking on this and it should take them to GitHub, when they click on this, it will now show them a more detailed about the project section. So you can do the same thing on that template as well. Okay, so the template I used for this my portfolio website is 40 FORTY on the same website where we got the other one from. Okay, so now let's keep editing that. Okay, so let's say this about section, we don't want it to take us to GitHub. We want it to take us to a page where we are going to explain in details what the entire thing is about. Okay, first of all, let's finish up with this page. Okay, so for this page, I will not be editing everything, because if I start editing everything, then we are going to use up all of the time. So you already know this process. It's just like repetition of process. Okay, let's just scroll down. And then if you want to have a section on something like this, maybe this is the part where you want to even add your project and you want to remove this one, this section, you can remove it as well. So you can just arrange it anyhow you want it. Okay, so let's say I don't want this section. From this section, I don't want to have all this, because I just want to add all my projects like this. I just want it to be in this format. I can remove all of this. And remember, I said I want to remove this name send message, because if they want to contact me, they can just see my location, phone number and stuff. Let's go back to VS Code now. We're going to locate that point. Okay, so vitae whatever, let me try to trace it up. Right, okay, exactly. So this is the point where I said I want to remove from that part downward. Okay, so I'm going to I could just comment it out. I don't really need to delete it, just in case I'll later need it. So this sign, this less than, let me just undo. So this less than exclamation dash dash, and then they will close it. So this is like representing comments. Comment means it will not read it as a code. So I want to comment out all the parts where I said I do not need. Okay, so the section started here and the section ended here, right? I guess. I think it ended here. Okay, I want to comment out this. Okay, let me just paste it here to comment out that part. So now I also want to comment out this get in touch, right? I don't want to ask for their name or their email. So let me just copy this one as well. And then I'm going to paste it at the end. But I want to add my own phone number and my location and stuff. So this is where I'm going to end it, because I don't want them to send me a message or whatever. So this is where the send message, let me remind you in case you forgot it. So this is where the send message is, and from here is where we have untitled ink, the location. So you can see that from here we have the untitled ink. So this is where I want it to stop the comments. This is where I want to remove, like from here to this point is where I want to remove. I don't want to remove the part where they are going to see my location and stuff. So let's open with live server and see the effect of the changes we made. Okay, so now we can see that we now, after our project, we have 1 2 3. It's going to just show them the location, phone number. We can edit this and put in our details. Okay, so let's now say I have more than 3 projects and I still want it to be in this style format that we have here. We can do that. All we have to do is copy one of this and then just paste it again downward. Okay, let me just show us that, and then we are going to edit this one. Then we move to this section where we can do that. So if you feel overwhelmed by everything in this video, you can just pause it, go back to it, rewatch it again, and then take your time to practice along. Okay, so let's try to duplicate this just in case you want to do it, so you know how to. Okay, so the last one is nulam. Okay, so let's try to locate that. Remember, these ones we removed them because we already added it as a comment, so it's going to ignore it. So this one now is where we have the nulam. So from where this section, open section is, and this close section is, I'm just going to copy it, and then I'll come down here to paste it. Can you see? So I'm just going to change this one to 4, though it doesn't matter whether I change it or not because it's just a comment, but here I want to change it to 4. And I'm just going to leave the style wrapper style in a okay, let me just leave it exactly like this for now. So we just want to duplicate it. That's the essence of what we are doing. Okay, so let me just open with live server and see if it's working as I want it to be. Nulam. Okay, so I think there's a pattern for this slide, the way it is divided. So it's like one is in this direction and the other one is opposite direction. So let's just try to trace that up, so there won't be this space that we have here around there. But you see that it's already duplicated, so we got it. We now have to nulam just because we duplicated it. Okay, so I think it will be, the problem will be from this wrapper spotlight 3. Let me see what the second one is. Okay, so the second one is this. So let me just copy the second one because I think that was what it would be most likely. Okay, so let's paste it. Let's check now. Okay, and now you can see that it's giving us exactly the way we want. So if you want to keep duplicating it, that's how you can duplicate and have as much project as you want in each of the section. Okay, so in this section, let's say we want to edit this, our details, put in our stuff. So all you just have to do is trace the part where you have it. This is the contact section, and this is where you can add your address. So here we have untitled ink, blah 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 blah. So if I want to add my address, I'm just going to put okay, so I don't want it to have a break line because my address will just be on one line, I guess. Okay, exactly. So I'll just change this to, let's say I just want to put only Nigeria, and if you don't want to put only Nigeria, you can, your location basically, just add it there. And in this part you may want to add your phone number, so I may just want to add 234 and then add my phone number in this section. And what else? So here you want to have your mail, Twitter, Facebook, so you can just do your mail. So you can just type okay, my mail is, so I'm just going to type something like, it's only this one I'm going to edit. So I'm going to do something like babalola to say excel at gmail.com. okay, so now I'm going to add this same link because it's going to take them to my Gmail directly. I can also add it in the href section, so I'm just going to paste it here. All right, so you're going to do the same for your Twitter, you're going to do the same for Facebook, Instagram. If you don't want this one to be Facebook, you want it to be LinkedIn, so you just change it to FA LinkedIn, and then you put your LinkedIn link here in this href. Don't forget, inside the href course is where you do that. So we can open with live server again. Let's scroll down to see. So you can see that Nigeria for the location, then my mail is showing now. So if they click on it, it's going to take them to where they can. So if you add your Twitter, your Facebook, your everything, so it will be shown here, obviously. So we have this untitled ink, blah blah blah. I don't want it to be there. I want to remove it, so I'll just remove this. You can see that's where we have it, so I'm just going to remove it. I don't want to see it there. Okay, so I'm just going to open with live server again, and now we can see that it's no longer there. Everything is looking better than when we started. Okay, so this logo, in case you have a logo you want to add, you can add your logo, but if you don't, you want to remove it, then we're going to trace it out and then remove it. But I hope you like the way the interface is going now. So I'm still going to explain how, if they click on this, it's going to show them to another page on this same website instead of taking them to GitHub. I'm still going to explain that, so keep watching. I hope you find this video interesting as much as I'm finding it. Okay, so let's try to locate this logo and then remove it, and then we can come back to this one right here. Okay, so let's go back to our code. Go up. All right, so we have Oluwatosin portfolio. We have this solid state. Where is solid state? I can't find anywhere where solid state. Does that mean this is the section where we have it? Okay, wait. All right, so I just located it. So if you notice that this, oh sorry, I kind of did it, and I let's do it back. Okay, so now we have the logo right above Babalola Oluwatosin. So that's where I kind of located it. So I just checked this Babalola Oluwatosin, and right above it I can see a logo, the class and whatever, which I don't want to be there, so I'm just going to remove that line. Okay, so let's now open with live server again, and boom, we no longer have that logo there. Okay, so everything is looking just the way we want it now, and the next thing I can do is to tell you about that about section, where it takes you to a new page, and then you can talk more on the project. You can show them the dashboard. You can just try to talk about the introduction, what prompted you to start the project, your drive, the goal of the aim and objective of the project, your findings after your analysis, your conclusion, your recommendation. So you can just detail it after they click on about project. Okay, let's see how we can do that. So now, remember, what we are going to do is we are going to embed it in one of these generic or element section. So let me click on generic and see what my generic page looks like. Okay, so this is what my generic page looks like. I can embed it. Let me see what the other page looks like as well. Okay, so can you see that in the generic page we need to remove this login and sign up as well, and also remove this email, this send message that we removed for the other one. So you can see that in this file we are working in HTML, index.html, but there's also generic.html. That means we have to edit that one too, and elements, oh sorry, no. So, and we also have elements.html. So this is the code for each of the page that is connected, right? So we can do menu, and I want to go to element. I want to see what elements looks like. Okay, so can you see this element is even looking like something that you can put in all your code and stuff. So I think the element is where I'm going to put in details about my code. And in this generic, I'm going to put my about section. So in the about section, I'm going to add my image, talk about myself in this about section. Okay, so this took me a whole week to do when I was trying to create my new portfolio website, because not only, I wasn't watching a tutorial, I was doing it on my own, and not only was I looking for the best image to use, the right words to put together. So it's okay if you cannot finish this once, you can take your time and make it as plain as possible. Okay, so I said this generic page will be for our about section, right? So what we are going to do basically is, let's go back to home first of all. So now I want this TikTok project, anytime they put about project, it should take them to where? To the elements, right? I said elements section. Okay, so now that we know that, let's do something about it. So in where this about project is for TikTok, let's go and locate it in our project. Let's go back to index.html where we have about project, TikTok project. You can see it here. And then we have the about project, and this is the link of where it's going to take them to, right? So I'm going to change the link. I don't want it to take them to GitHub anymore. I want it to take them to the elements page, right? Remember I said elements. So elements.html is just all you have to type. I'm just being lazy, so I just copied it. So I'm just going to paste it here, right? Let's now open with live server and see what happens now with this small edit that we did. If I click on the about project now, it was supposed to take me to GitHub. It's going to take me to the elements page. That makes sense now. We are one step ahead. So the next thing we are going to do is now edit this elements page. Now that we know that our TikTok, when they click on the TikTok project, it's going to bring them to this element. I'll now start editing it one by one. So now for the elements page now, I'll come here to the elements. All right, so I don't want this to be elements whatever, I just want it to be Oluwatosin portfolio. Okay, so now I want href solid state menu. Okay, I don't have a problem with the menu. Okay, remember that I said we want to remove this login and sign up from the menu, so I'll do that here. And then what do I want to do? Okay, let me come back to the page. This element I want to change it to social media growth. Social media growth. Okay, so I'm going to talk more about, so you can edit this one and say this project helped me grow my TikTok channel. So this is just a summary. So this is the same approach. You can ask ChatGPT just like I did the other time to give you a detailed description this time around. Helped me. So I'm just using this one just not to waste our time. Helped me grow my TikTok channel. Okay, so I'm just going to leave that like that for now. So this is, let's check this section. Live server. So once you are opening with live server, you can just remove the previous one so you don't get it mixed up, so you know which one is recent edit and which one is okay. So let me just leave it that way. So now you see that it has changed to social media growth. This project helped me. So you have text. This is, so if you want to make it bold, that's just what it's trying to tell you. But if you want to type it the same way all through, then you can just remove all of this. And so in this text I can put about project there. So where you have text, I can just put about project. And in this section where I'm having this story, I can just remove it and then have my explanation on the project, right? So I can just have anything I want to have there, so I can just have it there. Then let me remove it and do this is a project. So you just type in whatever it is you want to type, and then we open with live server. Okay, so you can see about section, and then we have, this is bold. I thought I edited this part, didn't I? About, oh, I did not though. Okay, is this part I didn't edit, so I can just do, I'm gonna leave the paragraph there. Yeah. Okay, so I'm just do this this is a project. I'm just do that, and let me close the paragraph. So to close the paragraph, you just do I guess p then slash then close. So if I open with live server now, we can see this is a project. So if you want to remove all these ones too, you can remove it and start writing in whatever you want to write. Some sections that you don't want, you can remove them, comment them out. So that's just how you keep editing and editing and editing till you get it to your actual preference. Okay, so that's how we can add a section that will take us. So we've learned that one as well. Okay, so let's now say I have let's go back to the home, and you can see now that there's no login and sign up on this page too anymore. So let's come back to the home section now. So let's say we have another project, and in this second project we want it to take us to a page, something like the elements page. So this elements name, you can even edit it in this home section. All I have to do is go back to index.html. That's where the original page is. And in this place where I have elements, where do I have elements? Okay, in this place where I have elements, I told you the white is the text. I'll just change it to TikTok project. Okay, and this place where I have generic, I want it to be my about section. So I'm still coming to generic to edit, right? And this one will just take me back to my home page. Okay, so if we click here now, can you see home about TikTok project? So anybody that clicks this knows that they want to go read about the TikTok project, and anybody that clicks this knows that they want to go to the about section. So you see the about section, we've not edited it. So the about section, you can now start putting in whatever it is you want to add to it, right? Just like the repetition of the same process that we've been following from the start of this video, right? So that's if you want to have multiple pages. But if you don't want to add multiple pages, you want to have just a page like this, and this one will take them to your GitHub repo, then you can just stay consistent with the style I gave us the other time. So let's now say I want to add my image to this section, right? So all I will do is try to put in my image in the same folder, in the images folder. Don't forget that. You can see I just added my image to the same web tutorial folder under the images section. So I just added my images, and these are the pic 01 that you were seeing in the other page. This is the TikTok we've used, and this is my image. So I'm going to come back here now, and where do I want to add the image again? Forgive my, okay, so at the background of this Babalola Oluwatosin. Okay, so Now we have the banner. Oh, unfortunately we cannot really add image to the background because there's no section for image, but let me see if we could add put that ourselves. Okay, so let me try to use this section. Let me see if it's gonna work. Let's see if it's gonna work. Okay, so this is more like a side hustle. If you don't have anything you're doing right now, you can talk to people. Let me help you create your portfolio websites, and you're making passive. Should I call it passive? I don't even know what to call it. Okay, let me paste this here. Okay, let's see if it's going to work and give us the TikTok image first before I'll start wasting my time and editing. Okay, so it's just giving us like an icon like this while I want it to be the main background. Okay. I don't want it to look like that. Actually, I don't want it to look like that. Wait, let me first add my image first. Image source. Oh, okay, so it's a little bit bigger now. Okay, so it looks bigger now. I guess it was because the TikTok icon we downloaded was small. Okay, so but remember, we don't want to add it to this section, right? We want to add it to the about section. So I think I just did the wrong thing. So let me just undo everything I did. All right, let me just undo that section. Then we'll have it back as normal. Yeah, it's back to normal. I want it this way. So I want that image to be in this about section. That's where I want it to be, in the background of the about section. Okay, so that means I'm going to generic because I'm currently in generic. And in the generic now, let me remove the login and sign up. In the generic now, so this is where we have generic, where I want to say about me or meet Oluwatosin. Anything, you can just come up with anything you want there. So I want to add the image here, so I can just, the link I used the other time where I copied from that other page is still going to work here. So I'm just going to do to say exactly, and then I don't want it to take them to any link, so I can remove the href whatever because I don't want it to take them to any link. Okay, so let's open with live server now. Let's open the generic page. So can you see now, this is the generic page, so you can add your image, meet Oluwatosin, I am stuff. This is my academic background, this is the certification I have, what is your motive, what drive you to start whatever you're doing now. You can tell them about everything in this section, and you can edit. Remember, if you want to remove all of this, you know how to do that already, so we're not going to repeat process. So you can see how good this is looking, and the menu for the generic page is not edited, so we can change it to home, about, and I think elements was TikTok project. So we can do the same thing by just coming here. You just do, in this section, home, change this generic to about, and change this element to what it is, TikTok project. Okay, so you've done that for this one. You can do the same thing for the element section, home, about, about, and TikTok project. Okay, so you have that like that. Okay, so let's now say for another project. So I guess this is the last thing I'm just going to explain, and then if you have any question, you can drop it on the comment section. I'm going to give you a video response to your questions, or if you find something difficult, or if there's a part I skipped, because I'm trying not to make this video too long, so that's why I'm kind of like rushing things up. So let's say in this other section now, we want to have another project, and the project wants it to take us to another page as well, just like this TikTok project will take us. So what I'm going to do is, we now have the 3 pages that is listed there. We now have them intact. So we now want to create another one down here that will maybe take us to, let's say the next one is e-commerce project, that will take them to e-commerce project. So what I will do now is, I'll come here, I'll create a new file here. I'll call the new file, I can call it which one I'm using for the about section. Okay, I think we're using elements for the TikTok project. Okay, so let's still use element 2. I'll just call this one element 2 this time around. .html, don't forget that. So in my element 2 now is a clean folder. Whatever is in the first element, that's the TikTok project, I'll just copy it. So I'll just copy everything there. I'm just going to copy it. And if you've edited this one, then it will make the work a lot more easier for you, because all this email that we were asking send message, you'd have removed it from the first one. So I'd advise that you perfect this one before you now paste it in the second one, so you don't have to edit twice. Okay, so I've pasted it here now. So if I come to so I'm just going to add this element to my own page now. So in this section where I have these elements, I'm just going to have another section. Just copy this line, paste it. Okay, so now I just want to change it to element 2, and I'm going to call this one e-commerce project. E-commerce. Okay, so you can open with live server now. And now you're going to see that we now have e-commerce project, and if we click on it, it's going to take us to that other page. So this other page now, instead of social media group, remember we just copied that one, we can just edit it. You just come inside element 2 here, and then I'm going to change, let me just change that one to e-commerce so it doesn't show us. So I'm just going to change this to e-commerce. Okay, so we can open with, okay, let me just come back here. Let me just come back to index and open with live server. Okay, so now if I click on e-commerce website, I thought I edited it now. I probably did not. How come? Element 2. Did I? Okay. I edited the element, sorry, instead of element 2. I was going to edit element 2. I was wondering why it didn't change there. I was going to edit this one. Okay, so now you can open with live server, and you see now that it has changed to e-commerce. So the same step, you can go to that section. If in the e-commerce website, if you want to be able to navigate back to the e-commerce, you want to add it to this list, you just come here inside the element, you copy this line, duplicate it in the next line, and then you're going to change this to element 2, and then you're going to change it to e-commerce. So if you want to have multiple section, you just keep repeating the process. That's all you have to do. So now if I open this one now, if I come here, you see that it's already here. So you can have multiple, you can have 10 projects listed here, and they get to pick the one that they want to navigate to and read about. So now you have your home section, you have about section, right, that you're still going to edit on your own. You have the TikTok project section, and in the TikTok project section, we've now added the e-commerce to the elements, so that's why it's not showing here. So you can still add it. Copy this page, duplicate it, and just change this to element 2 and change this to e-commerce. All right, so I hope you gained a lot from this project. So that's just the process I used in creating my portfolio website. So all you have to do is come up with the images, with the headline, the description, and your about section. You get to decide if you want to put it on GitHub, or you want to put it on another page in this website where they can go to and read everything you did on the project. You can have a screenshot of the project and then show to them. So I'm just going to show you again editing. Sorry, so once you're done editing all of this stuff, you've edited everything perfectly to your taste, what you're going to do now is you have to host it. You have to put it live so that you can send the link to the page to people to be able to access, and then you can put the link to the page in your resume, right, for recruiters to be able to just access it by just one click. So how are we going to host it, and on what platform are we going to host it? So it's still the same GitHub pages we are going to host it. So let's say I'm done editing and doing everything. We'll save it, just press Ctrl S. It's going to just save in the web tutorial folder we created. So let's come to GitHub now. I'm going to go to repositories and then new, where the way we did it the other time. This time around, I'm going to give my repository a name. So let's say I want to call it Oluwatosin or portfolio. You can call it anything you want. Let me just do portfolio.github.io. So you include .github.io in whatever name. This name can be anything. So I'm going to do .github.io. I don't want to give it a description. It's going to be public. I don't want to add a readme file this time. So I'm just going to create repository. Okay, so now the repository is created. I want to upload an existing file. That's the next thing I want to do. So I will upload that folder. So under choose your file now, read me everything. Note that this is what we had in the template and we edited. So I'm just going to open it here. Okay, so you can see now that it's uploading one of 6 file. So it's going to upload everything. Let's just hold on for it to finish uploading. This may take a while, so let me just, well, it's kind of fast. All right, so the everything is done uploading, and the next thing I will do is just to commit changes. And well, I don't think the images upload though. The images is not here. Okay, why are you taking time? Okay, processing my file. All right, so we have all of these files here, but this is not everything that we have in that folder that we have, because we had images folder and stuff, and I can't see it here. That means that it is not everything that we have that is here. Okay, so I'm just going back to add file and upload file. Okay, so what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to drag this. It's just these two that we didn't see there, right? I'll select these two. Let me just click on this section and open this tab. Okay, so now this is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to, you say it also gave us the option that we can drag files here. So I'm just going to select the two and then drag it inside. Okay, so now it's uploading. All right, so the entire file in the 2 folder is now uploaded, and I can commit changes now. Okay, so now we can see the assets and images now, and everything makes sense. So once you have everything intact, you can edit this readme and remove all of this stuff that came with the template and add whatever template you want. So what you do is come to the settings here, and then you come to pages, right? You come here to pages, and then you can click on, okay, you don't need to click on GitHub pages. Once it brings GitHub pages, you come to this under branch, you change it to main, and then you leave it at root. If it is not a root, make sure it's you selecting root, and then you can save it. Okay, so now okay, let me use portfolio. I think I need to use .github.io because I don't know why it's giving me. I can't really remember how it's done. Okay, so now that worked, so you can just do any name.github.io, right? So it works. So now it's telling me that my site is live at this. So this is the link to the portfolio that you can add to your resume or send to your recruiter. So if I click on this link now, you can as well copy the link and keep it somewhere. So if I click this link now, my website is live. The website you just created is live, and this is the edits we did though, you know. We did a rush work, we didn't finish the entire thing, so it is where we stopped that it is going to show us. Yeah, so if we had finished it, it's still going to show us the finished work. So when you are done, this is how you get your stuff edited, and then to me, right? Or you send it to your recruiter or do all of those stuff. So what my portfolio website looks like, so that in case you want to see how you can further modify yours using the same approach for this edit I used here, exact approach, can use the same exact approach. So but that's the basic step, that's the basic idea of how you can navigate through it. Okay, so let me just show you what it looks like now. All right, so this is what it looks like. I remember I said I used 40 is the name of the template I used for this. So you're going to find the structure, and then you can follow the same process I did to add a section about the project. And then you see that I removed the same section that we have down there. I just left my email and everything. Then you can come to the menu to navigate through the other ones. You see I added a lot of projects here. So my about section, this is what it looks like. I wrote everything I know I want to put out about myself. So that is just the basic idea behind you creating your portfolio website. So this is what it looks like, and I hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you enjoyed watching this video, make sure you subscribe and like, and let me know in the comments the next video I should make tutorial for. Bye.